Aloha. One of the things we've been going over is how to make just an E major or an A minor, and then utilize the second fingering in either one of those, move it forward a half step for a bar chord, either one works, and then keep that progression moving up. Now you can jump around back and forth like I am, or keep with one string. If we just did E major, we'd have E major, E major, F major, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, so on and so forth. But what the real takeaway from today was, no matter where you make any shape, whether it's the E minor shape, the A minor shape, a D shape, anything. If we go to the, let's say the 5th fret and play an E minor shape, we get an A minor chord. It sounds the exact same, but we've changed around where the interval for the lowest note is gonna be. Stairway to Heaven has this shape. The chord you know is this. So the associative thinking is now you know a multitude of different ways to play A minor. All the notes inside A minor are all the notes inside C major. So if you pick out A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A, you get natural minor or Aeolian, which is a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. So that is a natural minor. If we were to play any other chord and do it in any other key, we could use that same fingering. In fact, we could even put those half steps in. And that's how melodies are made for songs. So one of the things that we work from is the C major and the A minor because it has no sharps and flats, but a lot of the music we choose is in different keys. So we need to know how to play those chords, major and minor. D major, D minor. A major, A minor. C major, till now we've just taken the bar chord and played an A minor. But today you learned that if we have a C7, it sounds really cool to use the 1 and the 7 under a flat 3. So the C, if we had C, E, and rather than G, we had an F, which is our backwards triangle, looks exactly like our D7, A major 7, B7, chords you already know. So if when we play it here and we get a C7, chord from the other week was the C9 or the C add 9, either one, awesome chords. And the idea is to be able to have enough wherewithal to wiggle this around, feel good, and then move that first finger down to play the D sharp or the E flat. So you turn that into a minor. Woo! That is a silky smooth, awesome chord. You can do that with generally every chord. So what we do is we learn how to play one note on one string all the way up, and then we learn how to play its relative major or minor. Major third, minor third, minor third, major third, major third, minor third, minor third, major third. That's in the key of G. Then we add the third note, so G, B, D. When we play an A and a C and an E, we get A minor. B, D, F, C, E, G. The concept is we learn these triads together on our hand utilizing the circle fifths. And then we utilize all the chords we know in songs that we practice, like let's say, I don't know, Over the Hills and Far Away. We break that down to being a open G, hammer onto the A, pull off for the G, play an F sharp, go back up to the G, and then play a D every other chord. G, D, G. This one is, or either a bend or hammer on pull off open. But those are things we go over together, and then you work on those on your own. The ones that are fun is when you can actually go D, A, G, A, G, A, G, D sus, D major, A, G, A, G, D sus, D, A. Interesting. So that turns into and you learn the chords in the beginning, and then you realize, oh, I can't play all majors all the way up. And when you play around with the chords, you learn other songs, like Wishing You Were Here. Ooh, wishing you were here. So the idea is, one concept we learn adds on to another and on to another until we have so many concepts that things start connecting dots. And in the beginning, the hard part is realizing not all of this is just going to make sense. It all comes together. So when we do go over songs and we can figure out just what the root chords below the 5th fret, so like if a song is doing like the aforementioned you're doing an E major, nothing fancy, walking up from E, F sharp, G sharp, so F sharp to a G sharp, playing an A-shaped chord, you know, right here, but we're going to be considering it part of the E major because it is. It's a E, G sharp, I'm sorry, it's a, yeah, E, G sharp, and a B. So when we go through the process of seeing this as a quick walk up, then it hammers down on what you would see as like an F sharp minor or an A major, because those two are relevant. So when we go, we're hammering on the 1 and the 3. And in fact, that's another tune by the Dubs. So just learning that one technique leads to a lot of other things that bands do as their catch, or the pony that they ride, or the horse that they come in on. The thing that makes them special generally is repeated in multitudes of their own songs until they hit it. So the concept we're walking away from is you don't have to have the E major with the walk up to the A major. You can have E major down here to the A. Blah, 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 blah. Or you could go to the other ones, like a C sharp minor. Well, a C sharp minor is also played right here. So you could play a 7 chord. You could play your E sharp minor up here as a different bar chord. But getting from one space to another is really where the fun is at, and that becomes scale work. So in answer, I guess, to your question is, we take these as baby steps. We learn rhythm by practicing chords with teeter-totters and spiders, and then we branch off. So if you do your spider exercises with all downstrokes, and you can get that up to about this tempo, and every note is coming through perfectly, and you can go from the top to bottom, maybe the next time through you combine techniques. Work on octaves all the way up to the 5th fret. Ooh, I'm feeling rusty. Meow, meow. What did I just do? I did F, F, B flat, B flat. I did E flat, E flat, and then, what is that? A flat. Yep, A flat, A flat. So when we go through the process, each one of these, F sharp, B, B, we could have A, E, A. When we go through there and we vocalize too, we become really, really, really familiar with our own voice. And that's another way to get better understanding of the notes you're playing as well. So, as I said, you don't need to know any of the names of these, but knowing these octaves is great. In fact, you don't even have to do that. You can use the right fingering. See how I was doing 1, 3, 1, 3? I tend to do them this way because I got a oopsie-doozles on my hand. However, the spider exercise would dictate that you're going up a third. A major second. So your third finger is going to be using it. And then when you go to these, they're up. So I would try doing my spider exercises down maybe, and then try doing all upstrokes. And if you can still keep them at about this tempo, and then add other different techniques that we've been working on, like See how naturally just the chords plus a little thing you did becomes a song or a rhythm? But I know that I've got 20 years playing these noodles and having fun doing all these different sounds that come out of this thing. But the idea is all of this started with just playing the root, knowing the difference between major and minor, and then understanding chords have 7 possibilities. 3 of them are major. 3 of them are their position in a minor. And then the last one would have 1 flat 3 and then a flat 5. We would have this kind of diminishing feeling that leads a lot of attention. When we have diminished chords, it's a 1 flat 3 flat 5 opposed to a major, which is a 1 3 5 or a 1 flat 3 5. So the only chord you and I haven't talked about is an augmented. And we will talk about that next week. But until that time, keep practicing. If you have any questions, put in the comment section. I'm going to do another little video on the stairway floor. Send it right along.